Hello everyone. So in this session we are going to start with the laws of Mendel. There are two laws of Mendel. The first one is laws of dominance and the second one is laws of segregation. The first law says always the character inherit by means of some discrete units called the factors. Have you remembered when I have taken the word factors? Mendel, while he was studying on pea plant, whatever his discovery, whatever he found out the inheritance and variation while his work or in his period, he identified or he researched about the inheritance or about the heredity. What is the responsible unit? What is that product or what is that content which is being inherited from one generation to other generation? So now we are calling those content or those discrete unit as genes, but Mendel he called them as factors. So the factors inherit, these are the discrete units inherit from one generation to other generation, and the factors always available. So this will be the first one. Second one, the factors occurs in pair. As we studied in the monohybrid cross, what we took in the parents are pure breed. For the pure breed we have selected capital T, and for the heterozygous condition capital T and small t. Always we wrote capital T and capital T small t or small t. So those are the factors always available in the pair condition. So that is also the rule of laws of dominance. Who discovered this or who explained all this? Mendel. The third one is whatever the factors are available in pair, like for example capital T small t, capital T small t and small t, always leaving this. Okay, I'll leave this because now nothing is the dominant one here in this factor. Always the dominant one suppress the recessive one. In this condition there is no recessive nature or there is no recessive gene is present in this condition, but here we can say what we can say. I am taking one example here, that's it. Okay, so the dominant gene it suppress the recessive nature. Okay, so that is also a rule of laws of dominance. Overall we have come across the laws of dominance. It tells about the factors. Always the character inherit by means of a discrete unit called factor, and factors always available in pairs. Always one gene dominant over another gene. Okay, in case of unpaired or mismatched genes, always one gene suppresses the other gene only in this condition itself, not in the homozygous condition, only in the heterozygous condition. So after this we will see the law of segregation. The law of segregation, it tells the alleles. What is allele? Alleles are the forms of gene, the gene. So this is one gene. If we are writing like this, it is known as an allele. These are the alleles are the forms of genes. Forms are known as alleles. Next, the law of segregation. parent generation, I am talking about the monohybrid cross. Only to explain you about the segregation, I am taking one example of monohybrid cross. In the parental generation, what we took while explaining the monohybrid cross, it was capital T and small t and small t. The parental generation, in this parents or in the pea plant, when it produces the gametes, either it is male gamete or it is a female gamete. The gametes receives the gene of its parent. How it is receiving the genes of its parent? When in the male, andrecium, you have learnt the process. What process it is, how the microspore forms, how the ovules forms, and how the meiosis occurs in microsporogenesis, how the ovules forms by means of megasporogenesis. All those things we have learnt. While forming the male gametes, the genes transfer to in the gamete, and those gamete, when it gets fertilizes with one more gamete, the genes will be present in the gametes. When the gamete, when it is fertilizing with one more gamete, we don't know which gamete it is, with which gamete it is fusing or fertilizing. I am just for the understanding purpose, I have written small t. It's not like a there is no reason for the taking small t. I am just taking an example. Okay, so consider these two are the gametes having the genes capital T and small t. Capital T in sense, when we have taken the capital T only to measure the tallness of the pea plant. Alright. So, this capital T, if it is present in a gamete, when it is fertilizes with one more gamete, always this dominant gene expresses. Capital T small t in sense, the upcoming offspring, the next regenerating product will be tall. How come the plant become tall? Because in the gamete, its parental generation gene was present. So, my concept is, I am going to teach you, I am going to explain you about the law of segregation. Here, the genes split, they separate, always it will be in a pair form. At the time of gamete formation, they will get separate. Each gene carried by each gamete. Each gene means each gene one gene in one gamete, one more gene in one more gamete. Like that, the gametes carries its parental genes. If in a parent, if it is in a homozygous condition, there will be no suppressing character. If it is a heterozygous plant, when this heterozygous plant produces the gamete, if the gamete having the recessive gene, when that recessive gene it get fertilizes with one more recessive gamete, the resultant product, the offspring will be what? Small t. It means the resultant product will be short plant. So, this is how the gametes, the genes split, and the genes split or segregate at the time of gamete formation. So, with this we will see the next concept. The next concept is incomplete dominance. The incomplete dominance So this concept comes under the inheritance of one gene. In the inheritance of one gene, the first thing what we studied is about the monohybrid cross. In the monohybrid cross, which example we took? We took the pea plant, Pisum satayum. In that, what plant, which character we selected in the class? The character we selected was tall and dwarf. And then after that we studied about the test cross. After that the laws of Mendel's. So in the same content, that is inheritance of one gene, the incomplete dominance is present. What is incomplete dominance? The dominant gene, one dominant gene, like for example, I will take the heterozygous condition. Okay. So the dominant gene will not be able to express its dominant character in the F1 generation. In normal case, in the first case, what we studied, whenever the dominant gene is present, it always expresses its character. But in this concept, the dominant gene, it is not capable, it is not able to express its character in presence of the recessive one. It is known as incomplete dominance. Why so? How it will be? So, the Mendel process, the Mendel experiments or the Mendel's laws, it is not applicable to all the plants. All the plants, like few plants are there, like Mirabilis jalapa and Antirrhinum or snapdragon. Here we are taking the same plant to explain about the incomplete dominance, snapdragon or Antirrhinum, commonly known as dog flower. Plant name is dog flower, snapdragon or Antirrhinum or dog flower. So this is one plant where the laws of dominance, the Mendel's laws, it is not applicable to this plant. What's happening in this plant? Only I am telling you about the plants. I am not taking the animals example. One animal is also there, Andalusian fowl. So that is an animal, a bird. In that bird, the Mendel's rules or the Mendel's laws is not applicable. So why the Mendel's laws are not applicable? Mendel's application or Mendel's laws are nothing but the characters inherit from parents to offsprings. Homozygous condition, always genes will be a pure one. Whenever it is present, the dominant character genes, always those genes will express itself. It suppress the recessive gene. That is what he told. But in the snapdragon, there are, let me start the procedure. Let me start the schematic representation. What the plant says, or what we are taking, or what we are going to telling in the incomplete dominance. In the incomplete dominance, that too in the snapdragon plant, we are selecting the parents having red color flower, pure breed. Whenever I say the pure breed or pure lines, you have to consider, you have to take that as capital 1. Pure means both the genes will be in the form of capital. Pure dominant in sense. Okay. And the parents, one parent I have written here. Alright. So our purpose is, our aim is, we are checking, or we are only checking the flower color, not the height of the plant. Don't get confused with the height of the plant and flower color. In the first case, we selected one character, that is stem height. In the second case, we are selecting the color of the flower. That is not the pea plant. This is not pea plant. This is snapdragon plant or antirrhinum or dog flower. Alright. So, the parents are pure line. One plant is having red color flower. Another plant, what we are crossing, what we are selecting for the crossing is white color flower. So, how you will write for the white color flower? Here I have written capital R, which indicates the red color flower of snapdragon. The recessive character will be, don't write WW. So many students, this is the common fault the students used to do. Don't write the WW. Instead of W, you have to write the small r. Small r indicates the recessive gene, recessive trait of the plant. White color flower. RR is red color flower, that is the parent or phenotype, and this will be the genotype. Now take the gametes of both the plants, R and R. In this case, I am just selecting one gamete. Alright. When we cross these gametes, the result will be like this, capital R and small r. So, how you will describe the phenotype of this plant or this heterozygous condition as compared to the first case, as compared to the monohybrid cross, it should be red. But in the incomplete dominance, we are in the incomplete dominance, that too in the snapdragon plant, when the one pure line, when it crosses with the pure homozygous recessive one, the result will be having a plant with pink color flower. The mixing of the flower, the dominant trait, the dominant gene is not completely expressing in the F1 generation. This is known as incomplete dominance. Again, we'll self the F1 generation. So, this is the F1 generation. Now, in the next part, we are going to selfing the F1 generation, the F2 generation. It is known as F2 generation. In the F2 generation, what we are doing? We are selfing we are cross-pollinating the, not cross-pollinating, we are self-pollinating the, offsprings. Capital R, we have to write the parents here. Parents are pink color flower cross with pink color flower. The genotype, without any doubt, pink color flower of antirrhinum having the heterozygous condition, capital R and small r, and capital R and small r. Next, you have to write the gametes of it, R, R cross with R, R. In this case, only I have taken one gamete, but in the F2 generation, both the gametes I have taken. Put the Punnett square. When we plot the Punnett square, So this is the graphical representation to calculate the genotype of offsprings. So that is the Punnett square. On the one side we are taking one type of gamete, on the other side one type. Consider this as male and this as female. Now cross it. RR, capital R, capital R, capital R, small r, capital R, small r, small r, small r. Now you have to write the phenotype there itself. Capital R indicates the red color flower. Red color flower. Capital R, small r will be the pink one. Now this is also the pink one and this will be the white. Now find out the ratio, phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio will be how many red flowers are there, red flower plants are there? Only one. 1:2 out of 4 you have to calculate now. Red color flower is 1. Pink color flowers are 2. And white color flowers are 1. So 1:2:1. So this is red color, pink color, white color. So that is the phenotypic ratio. Now coming to the genotypic ratio. Genotypic ratio will be, how you have to calculate the genotypic ratio? Out of 4, write the possible or just write it, capital R and capital R. Those who have still doubt, for them I am telling, just write it, capital R and capital R, small r, and don't write the same one. Alright, small r, small r. Now count it. How many capital R capitals are present? Only 1. And count the capital R and small r, 2. Small r's are 1. So that is the genotypic ratio and phenotypic ratio of incomplete dominance. Both are same. There is no changes at all in the phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio. Both are similar. Now in the examination maybe they'll ask like regarding to the phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio, write the inheritance or cross or which inheritance having the same phenotypic and genotypic ratios. Which inheritance it is? It is incomplete dominance. So this is the cross. In the offsprings, the ratio are similar. Okay. So this is all about the incomplete dominance. This is not the end of the incomplete dominance. Next, we have to find out what is the reason behind it. Why the dominant nature, it is not capable to express itself in the F1 generation or in the presence of recessive gene. So I'll tell you the reason, I'll tell you, that is also important, don't neglect that. If you have any doubts, just message me. And regarding to the test, so just prepare well. We'll give the test in this week. Thank you.